Hello and welcome to the amazing game of chess. I am so happy you decided to learn about this wonderful sport. Chess is more than just a game, it is a fun adventure for your mind. When you play chess, you are like a general leading an army into battle. You get to make all the important decisions. You will learn to think ahead, plan your moves, and be patient. This is a very useful skill, not just in chess, but in your everyday life as well. Playing chess can help you do better in school, make you a better problem solver. It is a game that people of all ages can enjoy together, children, grandparents. Chess is a game that has been played for a very, very long time, for more than 1,000 years. Kings, queens, smart people from all over the world. Now you can be part of this long and interesting history. The chessboard is your battlefield. It has 64 squares with alternating light and dark. Think of it as a grid. 8 rows going up and down, and 8 columns going side to side. The rows are called ranks, numbered 1 to 8. The columns are called files, labeled A to H. This grid system helps us talk about where the pieces are. When you set up the board, always remember to place it so each player has a light-colored square on their bottom right-hand corner. Now, let's meet your army. 1 king, 1 queen, 1 rook, 1 bishop, 1 knight, 8 pawns. The king is the most important piece. If your king is trapped, you lose the game. The queen is the most powerful piece on the board. She can move in many directions and is a very strong attacker. The rooks are like the strong towers of a castle. The bishops are fast and move along the diagonals. The first few moves of a chess game are called the opening. A good opening is very important because it helps you prepare your army for the middle of the game. Your main goals in the opening are to control the center of the board. Develop your pieces. Keep your king safe. Controlling the center is important because pieces in the center can move to more squares and have more power. The 4 squares in the middle of the board, E4, D4, E5, D5, are the most important squares to control. Try to move your pawns to these squares early in the game. A simple and very good opening for beginners is to start by moving the pawn in front of your king forward 2 squares. This move is called playing E4. This one move does many good things. It immediately puts a pawn in the center of the board and helps control important squares. It also opens up lines for your queen and your king's bishop to move out and join the game. When you develop your pieces, you are moving them from their starting squares to better, more active squares where they can help you fight. After moving your pawn, a good next step is to bring out your knights. In chess, tactics are short-term plans to gain an advantage. They are like clever tricks to surprise your opponent. Learning basic tactics is one of the fastest ways to start winning more games. The most fundamental tactic is the check. A check is when you attack your opponent's king. When the king is in check, your opponent must do something about it immediately. They can move the king to a safe square. They can block the check with another piece. They can capture the piece that is giving the check. Understanding checks is vital because the whole game is about checkmating the king. But checks can also help you win material. For example, you might check the king and force it to move to a bad square, or use a check to set up a more powerful attack on a different piece. Always look for opportunities to check your opponent's king, but make sure your own king is safe first. A good player watches all possible checks for both sides. It's a fundamental skill you'll use in every game. Another simple but powerful tactic is capturing undefended pieces. An undefended piece is not protected by its own pieces. One of the most powerful tactical ideas in chess is the pin. A pin is when you attack an opponent's piece, and that piece can't move without exposing a more valuable piece behind it. The attacked piece is pinned to the more valuable piece. It's a way to paralyze your opponent. The pinned piece becomes almost useless. It cannot move, so it can't attack or defend other squares. It just sits there while you build your attack. There are 2 types of pins. The first is an absolute pin. It happens when a piece is pinned to the king. The pinned piece cannot move at all because moving it would leave the king in check. Illegal. Example: bishop attacking a knight with the king directly behind the knight on the same diagonal. That's an absolute pin. Your opponent cannot move the knight. You can then attack that helpless knight with another piece like a pawn and win it. Another very important tactic that will help you win many games is the fork. A fork is a move that uses one of your pieces to attack two or more of your opponent's pieces at the same time. It is also called a double attack. The fork is a very powerful tactic because your opponent can usually only move one of their attacked pieces to safety. This means you will be able to capture the other piece on your next turn. Finding a fork is a wonderful feeling, and it can quickly turn a game in your favor by helping you win material. The knight is the master of the fork. Because of its unique L-shaped move, it can often attack pieces without being easily seen. A knight fork can be especially surprising and dangerous. Imagine a situation where your knight jumps to a central square and suddenly attacks your opponent's king and queen at the same time. This is the best kind of fork. The opponent must move their king out of check, which means you can then capture their queen for free. Always be looking for squares where your knight can jump to and attack two enemy pieces at once. While knights are the best at forking, other pieces can do it too. Pawns can be very good at forking two more valuable pieces. The goal of chess is to checkmate your opponent's king. Checkmate is a special kind of check. It is a check that the opponent cannot get out of. It is being attacked and there are no legal moves to escape. The king cannot move to a safe square. The check cannot be blocked by another piece. The attacking piece cannot be captured. When you deliver checkmate, you win the game. Learning how to checkmate is the most important skill. One common beginner checkmate is the scholar's mate. It happens very early, in only 4 moves. It uses the queen and the bishop to attack the weakest square, usually f7 or f2 for white. A more useful mate to learn is the back rank checkmate. It often happens later in the game. It uses a rook or a queen to mate when the king is trapped on the back rank. One of the biggest challenges for new chess players is avoiding simple mistakes which we often call blunders. A blunder is a very bad move that loses a piece or gets you into a lot of trouble. The best way to avoid blunders is to slow down and think before you move. Don't just play the first move that looks good. Instead, take a moment to look at the whole board. Ask yourself, what is my opponent trying to do? Try to understand their plan. Are they setting up an attack? Are they trying to win one of my pieces? Thinking about your opponent's ideas is just as important as thinking about your own. A very common mistake is to lose a piece for nothing. This often happens when we move a piece to a square, where it can be captured by a less valuable enemy piece, or when we move a piece that was defending another piece. A good habit to develop is the safety check. Before you make your move, double-check that the square you are moving to is safe. Also, check to see if the piece you are moving was protecting anything important. By doing this little check every time, you will stop yourself from making many simple blunders and losing your valuable pieces for free. Congratulations! You have now learned the basic secrets to start your journey in the world of chess. You know how the pieces move, how to start the game, how to use simple tactics, how to deliver checkmate. This is a fantastic start, and you should be very proud of what you have learned. The most important thing to do now is to practice. The more you play, the more you will see these ideas in action. You will start to recognize patterns and see opportunities that you did not see before. Every game is a chance to practice and get better. Don't be afraid to lose. Everyone loses at chess, even the world champion. Losing is a very important part of learning. After each game, whether you win or lose, take a few minutes to think about what happened. What was a good move you made? What was a mistake you made? If you can, review the game with your opponent. Talking about the game is a great way to learn new ideas and see things from a different perspective.